Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
Well, I'm here in Kells, County Meath, and you said you were going to. You said you might start to cleanse. I'm on a cleanse, and there's a group of about 13, 14 people, I think, in the group. And how's it going for you?
I'm on this diet that is a healthy diet. It's something that I don't recall that I ever did, and I've managed to reach a certain age, fortunately. But I've tried to be careful in regard to the amount and the quantity of food I would eat. I never overate.
Yeah.
But one of the defects that I had, I just mentioned where I was coming from, and latterly I seem to I never lost a sweet tooth. And now that my wife, our late wife, has passed away now a few years, I was beginning to treat myself to sort of stuff that she would be saying no, or if we bought it, she'd put it somewhere that I couldn't find it, or she'd put it in the deep freeze. And that was cakes, cream cakes, biscuits, chocolate, and all this sort of stuff. And I seem to be imbibing that there in the past, I suppose, 6 months or maybe more. I couldn't pass a blinking shop without getting not just a small bar, but a big bar. I was kind of against the small bars, if you know what I mean.
So anyway,
So I'm coming from that background, and I did have a need to sort of change that. And funny enough, when you get in the habit of doing things, then it becomes difficult. So in a conversation with your good self a week ago, you mentioned what you were doing. And it just clicked in some ways with me. So the first thing I did was not have any biscuits or sweets that week. I drank water, but I always have a pint of water in the morning with a bit of hot water in it, and a drop of lemon, a few little squirts of the fresh lemon in it. It's something I discovered years ago, and I think maybe that's done to me down the years. But in any event, what happened then was when you mentioned it there over a week ago. It was actually last Sunday week, and from today, which is Wednesday. I was on a diet that week. I didn't have much bread or anything of that calibre. I kind of nearly had a kind of a semi-fast without knowing the foods that subsequently you told me about, and gave me a list of the sort of ones without wheat and without dairy products.
yeah.
And so I made efforts to purchase those. The precise ones wasn't there, but there was ones near enough to it. And instead of getting ordinary milk, I got coconut milk. I got two 2 litres each, a litre and 1 litre. I got two 1 litre of that milk. And I got the sort of butter, that was, or that, not the butter, the stuff that was that you had mentioned they didn't have, but had something near it. And I noticed it was hard to spread, so I have it out to use it. So I have found it beneficial. I've been on it since, this is only Wednesday. I think you gave me the details last Sunday, but you mentioned it on Sunday week, and so that particular week I was being careful. And so now I'm on it since.
Very good.
And I'm finding it fairly good. I'll just give you an example. I had a chicken, I bought a chicken, but it was a cooked chicken. I don't know whether that's, I think that should be okay. Chicken is generally okay. Meat's okay because I'm not a vegetarian in the full sense of the word. But for example, yesterday and today, I made a bowl of salad and mixed in banana, pear, apple, and something else as well. So I mixed those in with it and mixed it around, and it was very tasty. So I had my that thing yesterday for me lunch, and I had it today, and it was quite satisfying.
Very good.
And I got the bread that you mentioned, which was without wheat,
Yeah.
and it's quite all right. And I toasted it, and I had sliced there for my breakfast early this morning because I visited my late wife's grave up in County Meath, up near Kingscourt, and so and it was fit. I must say, I find myself much fitter than fit enough, but I found myself a bit fitter.
There you go. Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
had 2 walks there in the last couple of days. I generally would have a walk, but not as much. But I had 2 good walks in the locality, and it was very beneficial.
Absolutely. The thing about it is, look, it's the woman who runs these courses. So the benefit of actually being on the course, I think she does the April cleanse, and then she does, I think it's a cleanse in September or October. It's orlaphelan.com. And so the benefit of actually going on the course is that you have the supports of the other, say, 13, 14, 15 people, right? And then you get the menus, you get the recipes, you get the whole lot to go with it, you know? And but you're on the right start anyway. You've given up your wheat, you've given up your dairy, and you've given up your sugar.
That's correct. I've given up the sugar. And and of course I have porridge in the morning and generally make it with water, but I was in the habit of putting a drop of milk in it then when I'm bringing it to the boil, because it's usually very tasty when you bring it to the boil. So I was delighted with that. I still have the porridge, but now I'll be using the coconut milk in it, and it's a different taste. But you get used to these things when they're actually good for you.
You do, absolutely.
Because I think while dairy products we were rare on it, unfortunately in many ways, because it's better to have food than not food at all. And like the poor people that's anorexic.
Yeah.
But I think we can have a healthy diet which is good for mind, body and soul.
Very good. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Adam.